Here are 3 habits to sound 10 times clearer when you speak so that you're never misunderstood, so that you sound just as clear as Oprah Winfrey.
Let me get real clear about what it is I'm putting out.
Hey, I'm Preston Chin, and I help professionals like you speak brilliantly at work. And if you want to sound more clear and confident, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Let's dive into habit 1. Habit 1 is called Baraka. And yes, you may sound like Harry Potter casting spells, but this really works.
Expecto Patronum!
So the goal is to say all of these words on the board, but as quickly as you can in one breath. So repeat after me. Badaga, padaga, bedege, pedege, bodogo, podogo, budugu, pudugu. Now you're gonna say it a little bit faster, just in one breath, like this. Badaga, padaga, bedege, pedege, bodogo, podogo, pudugu, pudugu. Now I want you to say it 2 times in a row, all in one breath, a little bit faster, like this. Badaga, padaga, bedege, pedege, bodogo, podogo, pudugu, pudugu. Badaga, padaga, bedege, pedege, bodogo, podogo, pudugu, pudugu. Now I want you to try to say it 3 straight times, all in one breath, like this. Badaga, padaga, bedege, pedege, bodogo, podogo, pudugu, pudugu. Badaga, padaga, bedege, pedege, bodogo, podogo, pudugu, pudugu. Badaga, padage, bedege, and then try to do it 4 straight times in one breath, like this. Badaga padaga bedege bedege bodogo bodogo budugu budugu. Badaga bedege 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 bodogo bodogo budugu budugu. Badaga badage bedege bedege bodogo bodogo budugu budugu. Badaga badage bedege bedege bodogo bodogo budugu budugu. And then try to have fun with it. So you're gonna loosen up and you're gonna move your shoulders to the rhythm as you're doing this, and you're gonna try to keep it all in one breath, like this. Badaga badage bedege bedege bodogo bodogo budugu budugu. Badaga badage bedege bedege bodogo bodogo budugu budugu. Do this exercise for about 2 minutes a day. This exercise works because you're stretching your mouth and your tongue as much as possible. Plus, by moving more to the rhythm as you're speaking, you're releasing some tension. So when you get on stage to speak, you're more likely to use your body language to emphasize key points. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing this in front of other people, but it's a great warm-up by yourself before a high-stakes event just to get in the groove. Now, the second verbal habit is called COAT. COAT is an acronym that stands for Controlled Oral Word Association Test. This is what speech therapists, including mine way back in the day, use to measure your verbal fluency. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna grab 3 things: pen, paper, and recording device like your phone. Put on a timer for just 1 minute. And then you're going to pick a random letter from the alphabet. For example, B. Your goal is to say as many words as you can think of that start with that particular letter. Your goal is to think of as many distinct words as you possibly can, ideally shooting for anywhere between 13 and 18 words in a minute. Only think of words from the English language and try to avoid saying very similar words. Like, for example, if you said bake, you don't want to say baking or baking powder. So whenever you're ready, let's get started. So I've got my timer for 1 minute, and I'm going to try to say as many words as I can that start with the letter B until the time expires. And then I'm going to count up all the words that I've said. Here we go, let's get started. Barn, barricade, basket, beat, board, barnacle, beetle, brain, blood, ball, bull, bully, bust, buddy, bud, breakfast, butt, befuddled, bereavement, bread, boyfriend, bobbing, befriend, betray, beside, bee, bat, barge, Bart, bus, boat, bee, badge, battery, barnacle, bet, bedside. Okay. Okay, there you go. It wasn't clean, but I did my best. Now, if you're saying between 13 and 18 words in a single minute, this is a really good score. You obviously can improve more, but This indicates that your verbal fluency is pretty solid. Now, if you're above 18, then your fluency is fantastic. This means that you're able to come up with words pretty quickly on the spot without having to think too much. And if you're below 13 words, then chances are you may want to improve your verbal fluency, specifically your word retrieval process. But here's the thing. Most people score low because they're consuming garbage input. If you're just scrolling trashy social media, that's not exposing you to rich vocabulary. Instead, start reading books or listening to quality podcasts. When you hear words that you don't normally use, document them. Practice then using those words every single day, and your brain will retrieve them faster when you need them. If you want a list of books or podcasts that I listen to regularly, check out the list below in the description. And this exercise trains your brain to access your vocabulary quickly when you're put on the spot. And trust me, this makes a huge difference in how articulate you sound. And if you want to be a great speaker at work, especially when you're put on the spot and can't script, then check out the Impromptu Speakers Academy. This is my flagship program to help hundreds of professionals improve their executive presence and their public speaking to accelerate their careers. The link's in the description to sign up. Now, this third habit is my personal favorite. It's called pen game tongue twisters. This is the single best exercise for sounding crystal clear when you speak, especially if you struggle with lisps or stuttering, or if English is just not your native tongue and you have a stronger accent. Now, here's what you do. You're gonna take a pen or pencil and you're gonna put it in between your teeth like this. And then you're gonna say your tongue twisters in two different ways. Once is in staccato, where each syllable has a space in between, and then once in legato, where you're connecting the syllables all in one simple breath. So let's use the example from this tongue twister. She sells seashells by the seashore. Here's how you would do it in staccato. She sells seashells by the seashore. Now let's do it in legato like this. She sells Try that again. She sells seashells by the seashore. Now listen to how I sound without the pen. She sells seashells by the seashore. Do you hear the difference? The pen acts like a weight training for your mouth muscles. So when you practice with resistance, speaking normally becomes more effortless. Let me give you two more tongue twisters to practice alongside me. The first one is he threw 3 free throws. Then the second one is unique New York. And you're gonna say it 3 straight times like this. Unique New York, unique New York, unique New York. So for each one, you're gonna practice in staccato, then in legato, and then remove the pen from your mouth and say it all in one breath. I recommend you take out as many tongue twisters as you can and spend 5 minutes a day practicing all of them, reading them aloud using staccato, legato, and then fluidly without the pen in your mouth. And you can get a list of over 200 tongue twisters that I like to practice to enunciate more clearly across all the different types of consonant sounds and vowel sounds in the English alphabet. Now look, these 3 habits might make you feel like you're speaking like a baby doing weird exercises, but they really work. The baraka warms up your articulation. The co-op game expands your vocabulary retrieval, and the pen game gives you crystal clear delivery. But if you want to be a more clear communicator, not just when you speak, but also when you write, make sure to check out this video right here.